do not be emphasized and have fun. YouTube in million seconds. I think it's a million seconds. I come back. Good news. North American. Oh, wow. You're from Korea? Yes, I am. Neither. Wow. You're very. What was it? What was it? Oh, oh. No. 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 You know what that means? It means dot. Oh my god, not dots. I'll let that slide. Not because you deserve forgiveness, but you deserve peace. Uh-oh. Okay. I might visit something. Yo. Most people only have one. Imagine that cat's face talking to the man. Oh my gosh. Are you gay? Change of topic. What's your favorite song? It's everyday, bro. That didn't Never gonna give you a gym membership as a river. No, I'm sorry, please. Don't leave me. Just kidding. I'm not hungry. Phew, I thought I was almost a fly. Oh. BTS. I mean. Yo, this guy got talent on making videos. This is kind of funny. Oh my life. He nuked the moon. Anger makes you smaller, while forgiveness. We have to read that. Read that's important. I feel. I didn't read the whole thing though. Oh man, that would be sad. Anger makes you smaller, while forgiveness forces you to grow beyond what you were. Oh, I wanna. Shiver. Gosh. How do I forget what happened? If you know what happened, well, you know why my eyes feel like why do my eyes feel like I'm not gonna say the shape. No, what are they called? Spheres. Right, click. Right click. Why are bad words bad? Why do you think? That's good. Okay, let's see. Let's go on. I got how much percent? 58. Oh. Okay. Father of 7. What? Oh my
and
God.
this right here is Adam
freaking
Tobias. He was a father of 7, shot and killed
video, not
at his
this.
daughter's graduation party at a Southeast Houston home.
That's
Why
right,
are
his
people
accused killer
going
charged with
insane?
murder and
It
out
really
on bond tonight.
it feels like that.
KPRC2's Cool
It really
Appeal
seems
sat
like
down
that.
today with
Like the
Tobias'
more
and
I
daughter.
see, it's like
I spoke with Adam Tobias'
people are
family
just
here
not
in this park where they
having
say
it
he spent a
anymore.
lot of quality
I
time.
can't.
As you can imagine, they are heartbroken and now they want
To say the least.
justice. Graduating high school is a day Destiny Tobias will never forget.
Destiny Tobias.
Everybody was happy. Everybody was having a good time.
The after party just as
My
special.
life.
This is one
not
of the
good.
last videos Tobias
Something
has
is
with her
not
proud
right.
father,
Something's
Adam
happening.
Tobias, dancing and smiling.
What
Moments
if
before, police say her
coronavirus
mother's
wasn't
estranged
supposed to make us
boyfriend,
sick,
Philip
but mentally?
Harning, opened fire, killing Tobias.
I came running downstairs. I heard my mom screaming, and I thought he hit her. And as I'm going down the stairs, he grabs me and says, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about downstairs." And as I reached downstairs, I didn't see my dad. I seen his foot hanging out the door. And I run to him, and I crying and begging and
That's
saying
not
like, it's
okay.
not real, like he's gonna come back and that it's all gonna be okay. And I could not leave his body.
Destiny Tobias says her father
And she
and Arning
said,
got into an argument before
she
the
said
shooting.
his body, not
Adam
him,
Tobias wanted more
because you
time
know
with his daughter, but
his
she says
soul wasn't
Arning wanted people to
there
leave.
anymore.
He was telling everybody what to do, like to shut down the party. And he didn't put one pin in it, and he wasn't supposed to be there.
Destiny Tobias' stepmother, Neftali Perez, rushed over after getting the horrific call about her husband.
I wanted to help him. I
God
wanted
bless
to
him.
be able to save him. But he was already gone.
Police arrested Arning, charging
He
him with
doesn't even
murder,
look sad.
but he quickly bonded out.
He looks like
It
he's
makes
just
me happy
there.
that he gets to go home and
Oh
be
my
with his
gosh.
parents and his family and my kids.
I need more.
His
I need
daughter
battery.
and
I
our
can't waste
family
it right
are-
now. But Jesus
are left
Christ. I was gonna say
without our
jeez, but
loved
literally we
one.
need.
Destiny says her dad was
What I
loving,
said.
kind, and always made her laugh. Their favorite
What?
saying,
3 days ago? This is what I'm talking about. What? Who was shot after a friend got in the wrong car?
ABC News exclusive.
What?
You sat down with this high school cheerleader who was shot in a parking lot.
Okay, we're
Teammate
gonna
opened
listen
the
to
wrong
this,
car door.
but
Yeah,
hold on,
Joey,
let me
it
show
was
you
a
something.
mistake.
This is important. Okay, this was supposed to only be videos, but look at this. Look at this. You open Twitter, right? This was the first thing I saw. I opened Twitter. Concerning. Yes, very concerning. Very much so, Mr. Musk.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change.
Okay. Trending. Okay. Oh, wait, right there. Right there. Science. Trending. What's the most... Wow, and it's up. Last I checked, it was 14.4 or 14.8 K tweets, but now it's 19.3. Okay, well, if you see this video, what's the date? On the 5th of June, well, I don't know what to expect, but you should expect
UFOs exist. The
something.
U.S. government found quite
I
a
don't know
number.
why I say that, but
When you say crash
there's a
retrieval,
lot
what
going
do you
on.
mean?
These are retrieving
And no one's taking
Of
note
them.
of all of this.
non-human origin.
Look at this. This is a good representation. Look at, he's happy. He's like, "Are you serious?" Look at his face. He's like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" But yeah, the government's talking about it, but no one seems to care. But let's go back to what we were talking about. Okay, right here. Wow, that's
That any of us
horrific.
it could have made, except this time it ended in gunfire. I had a chance to sit down with Peyton Washington to talk about the horrifying act of random violence
What?
that almost
This
ended her
too?
life.
Yep, I think Corona. Okay, they don't want. If the government, our own government, is talking about what I just talked about and showed on Twitter, well, they're not gonna tell us that coronavirus is making people insane. And it's probably better that way because that would be not good. It's like the purge, but then people would literally start going weird. Let's say, officer who shot his sergeant. I thought he was going to what? 37. Wait, no, 6. Alright, it's right there. I thought it was only my dad. No more ads, please. This is not the time
Tubi.
right
Movies
now for advertising.
We're learning about the moments just before a James City County police officer shot his sergeant outside a Williamsburg bar.
Michael Rusk is facing charges in connection to that January shooting, which seriously hurt Sergeant Christopher Gibson. Investigators initially said the two officers got into a fight after a night of drinking. But as
What?
Tiger Side's Julie Millay learned,
Yo, okay,
the shooting might
can
have
everybody
been
just
about much more than a bar fight.
Yeah,
not
Tom and Amy investigators
lose
simply said the two
themselves
officers involved in the shooting
in
were
any
known
way?
to each other.
Mentally,
Now we're learning what
physically,
that
or
might really mean. The
yeah,
alleged shooter,
physically,
Michael Rusk,
you know,
says he pulled the
you know,
trigger in self-defense
let's
because of
just watch.
unwanted advances by his sergeant. We're about to share exclusive surveillance video and the 911 call.
Look
from
at
the
this. All
shooting,
this is
which we
happening
played for
within
Michael Rusk's
Corona
family
time.
for the
5 days
first
ago,
time.
a month ago. I don't even. That's not okay at all. I
For
don't
the
like
first
that.
time, Jason Rusk is hearing the 911 call his son made in the early morning hours of January 25th.
I shot Sergeant Gibson. Do what? I shot Sergeant Gibson. I pulled a gun on him. He's
God dang it.
dancing on me.
That's not okay, and he knows it. He did it for himself.
James
He
City
did
County
not
police
want
officer
that to
Michael
happen
Rusk
to him.
called
But
911 after he
oh my
allegedly
gosh,
shot
God,
his
what is wrong
superior
with the world? What's
officer,
going on?
Sergeant Christopher Gibson,
This is a
outside a
dream,
Williamsburg
right?
bar,
Nope,
where the
not at
two
all.
had been drinking together.
Not at
Video
all.
given exclusively to 10 on Your Side shows the two officers before this happened.
Dang.
Okay, I need you to take a deep breath for me, okay? Is he breathing?
Bro,
Is he breathing?
he's suffering with
The
himself
911
because
call
he
goes
did
on
something
for
that
just
he
over
didn't
5
want to
minutes.
ever
That's when responding
do
officers show up
to
to
another
find Gibson had been shot 3
officer.
times, seriously hurt in his stomach and shoulder. Court documents show Gibson told officers Rusk shot him after a verbal argument. But Rusk, his dad, and his lawyers say it was much more than that.
You know, it started to get creepy.
Jason Rusk says his son told him about unwanted attention he got from his superior officer leading up to the shooting, and that he had reported it to others on the force.
There was a year's worth of grooming that had taken place.
Rusk says his son is the victim of unwanted sexual advances and had been for a long time.
Extremely inappropriate touching, stalking, the grooming, the previous to the
My
incident
heart is
assaults.
hurt.
We reached out to Gibson several times to ask him about these allegations. He declined to speak with us. We also requested from JCCPD a record of any complaints filed
Oh,
against
sugar.
Gibson during his time there. We were denied. The video shows the officers at the bar prior to the shooting. You can see them sitting across from each other at the start. Then you'll see Gibson move in to sit next to Rusk. Gibson reaches for Rusk's hand under the table, which seems to be met with hesitation from the younger officer.
not okay.
Then, just about an hour before the shooting, the two are seen leaving together. After Gibson puts his hand on Rusk's shoulder, you see Rusk
That's not
forcefully push him
okay.
off and put a finger in his face before walking away. We don't know what happened next, but after the shooting, Rusk makes this claim to the 911 dispatcher.
I told him this is zombie.
Dude, he is so sad. He just
If
didn't
our
want
client
that
is a
to happen
female,
because he's not that
this
way.
case would be drastically different.
Rusk's lawyer says the video.
Look at this. Let me get one of the most, not important, but okay, well, yes, he is important, but most influential men to not help me out, but you know, let's go to what he said about these type of people. You know, let's go right now, right here. I think it's in media. Okay, not that. Food is good though, but right here. Yeah, period.
And light detection and
Find
ranging
it.
or light art.
Where was it? I just saw it. Come on. Creep Lies.
Minus 10.
Anyways, he said that. I can't find it. I need to find
You
it.
now make a point of.
Excuse me for a hiccup. Money.
You now make a point
Oh,
of.
I can't waste
That's an
battery, but
investment criteria.
yes, he said he doesn't
behaviors are gonna
stand
have to change.
with the mutilation of children for gender identity. God, that's not. He knows what he did, and he knows the
911
consequences,
call make a
but
clear
he
case
only
for
did it.
self-defense.
I think it'll show that certain steps weren't taken that needed to be taken.
The attorney says those steps, like looking into Rusk's claims of unwanted sexual advances, could have prevented what Rusk's dad calls a tragedy, which will affect
Look
his
at this.
son for the rest of his
Right
life.
here.
He told people from the get-go that he was sexually assaulted. He said no, and he kept on. He said no, and he kept on. If I had a daughter in the same position, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't
That's
have
true.
an innocent person fighting for their freedom.
Exactly.
Williamsburg officers
God
are
help us.
investigating the shooting. They had no comment on this story. James City County Police also.
Okay, we need to ask you this. What is this related to? Coronavirus? Or did they serve food that wasn't okay? No.
How about going for a cruise, but you're coming home Memorial Day weekend? There's a storm between you and home.
Do you go for it? Well, they did on the Carnival cruise ship. They said, we got to get these folks back to land. The seas were all shook up, though, from the coastal low we've been telling you about, and the boat sailed right into the storm off the coast of the Carolina, Charleston area. And the passengers said they actually started to feel sick as they were preparing to dock in Charleston. This happened on Saturday. A number of
I can't even click
decks
on what I'm looking at right now. I can't. That would be not okay at all. Scares passengers aboard.
No other way to put this other than a horror story from the high seas. Passengers aboard a Carnival cruise line say they were tossed around by strong winds and huge waves, and this lasted for hours. Fox 26 News reporter Rich Rodriguez shows us what they experienced on the last day of their journey from the Bahamas to South Carolina.
You can't just take.
Dude, I just saw the picture. I didn't even know, but I knew at the same time that this was not going to be
Police say
good.
the suspected shooter killed his wife and in-laws.
Police first got the call before 10 this morning, and they've been on scene investigating ever since. This happening a few blocks away from the Layton Fire Department, which is where we find ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Kate Gardner, who's been at the scene today. And Kate, what's the latest?
Yeah, I have been at the scene all day today. So just a little.
And Fred, as we understand, this offensive may
There's a
indeed.
lot going on. That's cool, but no, at the same time, that was cool in 2000 back then. Not right now.
Hi, it's that time.
Not right now. No.
Tonight, mystery in the sky. What?
Oh my God,
There are many different types of Minecraft players: the miner, the builder, the adventurer,
What?
All right, so we have this new, I call it a new axis of evil. Yeah. You have China aligned with Russia, aligned with Iran. Let's start with China. Here you have a Chinese spy balloon. There are no consequences. Here you have, just this week, a Chinese simulator that takes out all of our warships in the Pacific and the China Sea. You have a confrontation with a fighter jet of China with our fighter jet. They come, within 400 feet or whatever it was.
What?
Joe Biden's defense secretary wants to meet with their defense secretary, and they basically give Joe Biden the middle finger and say no. And
Wait.
Joe Biden's defense secretary wants to meet with their defense secretary, and they basically give Joe Biden the middle finger and say China with our fighter jet. They come, within 400 feet or whatever it was.
400 feet.
Joe Biden's defense secretary wants to meet with their defense secretary, and they basically give Joe Biden the middle finger and say no. And you see that there's a growing Cold War with China, who's aligned with two other hostile regimes.
really is.
And I got to believe that's not a good situation for America right now, because Putin
I give it
seems to
2
have
years.
no qualms about taking down
I don't know
the
why.
sky. No consequences for him. No consequences for China. What would you do?
So we had a great thing with China until COVID came in. Then I didn't even want to deal with them. But I had a great relationship with President Xi. But I was charging them tariffs, and if I didn't do, because they were dumping steel like nobody's ever seen anything like it before, destroying our steel mills and our steel plants. And I put on a 50% tariff, and all of a sudden our steel industry was doing good. I did it for washing machines. I did it for dryers. I did it for a lot of things because they were destroying a lot of our businesses. But we were taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. And we're in Iowa. I gave the farmers $28 billion. You know that, $28 billion. And
Mr. Trump.
Before he understood, I said things. He said, "You don't mean that." I said, "I mean it 100%." And he didn't totally believe me, but he believed me 10%, and that's all he had to do. He knew that there was going to be a problem.
Can I just say,
and President Xi,
you're implying something here. You basically said I'd obliterate you. Is that what you said to
I
him?
said things that were very bad, very nasty. And
Like a strong president should, to keep us safe. You mess with someone who says they're gonna beat
and
you
he
up?
said, "You don't mean
No.
that." It had to do with Moscow. He said, "You don't mean that."
I gotta stop this
said,
video. I don't want to
I'll
waste
never
your
talk
time
about
too
it
much
again,
because
but I do. He said,
who
"You don't
knows
mean
how
it,
much
you don't
time we
mean
have
it." And
in the free
we
world.
then went on
But
to other subjects. But
this is
I don't think he believed me, but he
important.
believed me 10%. That's all he had to believe me. 5% would be good enough.
What is this? This is on TikTok.
Let me focus on the issues that I think bread and butter issues that impact everybody. I want to know, if you get elected president, how fast you're going to be able to fix our borders, bring us back to energy independence, how quickly you might be able to work to change the school system, bring back law and order and safety and security to this country and every town and every city, because I think people need that if they want to pursue happiness.
I'd love
How
to
quickly
hear,
can
but I feel like there's something important happening right now. Right now. Here. Up. 1, 2. No, not that. God, please. Okay. Refresh. Oh my god, that song. Wait, is that the one I'm thinking of? I forgot to into it. Okay. 750,000? That's correct.
A man accused of stabbing a woman.
What? See, this is what I'm talking about.
750,000? That's correct. A man accused of stabbing a woman and stuffing her in a container flips out and then flips off the judge. This guy, furious that his bond was $750,000. Meanwhile, the victim here is lucky to be alive. Thanks for joining.
Wow.
Father furious after a daycare worker.
Okay, well, we've seen enough. You get the gist. Please don't go where these people are going mentally. And please live a good, great life for as long as we can. Live the best one you can, because this isn't good for anyone. Two, three. Oh my gosh, it was 3 videos away, but yeah. Anyways, God bless you.
And a man found
God bless
murdered in a
America.
room at a Las Vegas strip resort.
Tonight, the